Hey guys, it's Johanna. Today I want to share with you a few tips and tricks when setting goals. Obviously, New Year's resolutions coming up, and whether you're choosing to set one or not, it could really kind of stem from your past and whether or not you felt like whether or not you feel like you've been successful in keeping your goals. So I want to share with you a few tips and tricks about setting and keeping or adhering to your New Year's resolutions. So New Year's resolutions tend to get a bad rap because we know so many people that declare that they have a New Year's resolution and then 2 weeks later they no longer have a New Year's resolution, right? So it's not the fact that it's a bad idea to set one, it's the fact that we just happen to know so many people or even ourselves who don't necessarily continue to follow through with their New Year's resolution. So to start, I kind of want to talk about our mindset going into a New Year's resolution or simply a goal, right? So I believe that perhaps the word resolution, which means to firmly decide to do or not to do something, is a little bit too harsh of a word, right? We know when we are setting a goal that there can be setbacks, there can kind of be delays or, ebbs and flows. So to say I am firmly deciding to or to not do something, it kind of doesn't give us wiggle room, right? And it applies that pressure very, very fast. So I feel that using the word goal is a tad of a kinder way to set this commitment, right? So the word goal is a little bit kinder in the sense that it means the ending of which the action is directed to. So it's not saying to do this or not. It's saying I'm applying action with this in mind. Obviously, when we are applying actions, we might hit obstacles or hurdles, and that's okay. But again, as long as we know what the end goal or the end behavior is and we're working our way there, we already kind of have a positive, more open mindset going into this commitment. So let's first start with setting your goal. No matter what it may be, what you want to achieve, you have to be honest about the importance of the goal and the reasoning behind it. So these are two very, very big factors because we want to know, yes, what the goal is, but exactly what is the honest, true reason why you are deciding to put more action, more money, more time, more effort behind this specific goal. Establishing the importance of a goal will help you during the planning process, which happens a little bit later on down the line. It will allow you to accurately prioritize where amongst your life, whether it's your daily routine or your monthly routine, and amongst your responsibilities, where you're okay with placing this specific goal. However, to get this information, you have to be completely honest. You can say, oh, I want to lose weight. I want to make extra money. I want to read more. Those are all great ideas to have. But why? You want to lose weight or do you want to lose fat? You want to read what more? Why do you want to read more? And extra money meaning you're willing to take on a second job, or you want to just kind of save what you already received from your first job and place it elsewhere. So being specific in our goal helps us find the true reason behind it. So you can say, you know what, yes, I want to lose weight, but specifically I want to lose fat so that I don't feel as sluggish. I want to get back to a body weight that I carried when I felt more energized and I felt that I had more control over what I was eating. You can say, I want to read more, or I want to read more about the topics that I'm truly interested in so that I can gain more knowledge on topics or themes that I want to apply to my life. Once you have your specific goal and reasonings ironed out, you want to ask yourself essentially, how much time, effort, potentially money you are willing to allocate toward this goal. So it's important to remember that how much the goal actually demands might not be how much you're willing to expend to reach this goal. It might not be realistic, it might not be something you truly want to do, and that's okay, but that's why we prioritize the goal. There are also certain goals that you can't really necessarily control the timing of. For instance, losing weight. There is a limit to how much weight you can lose in a week. Looking at deadlines, a goal might have a specific deadline that you can't necessarily move up. So for instance, say you want to pay off your car by March 2021. That's great. You've set a month, or perhaps that's the month that it has to be paid off by the company. So you've set a deadline. Now you have to choose, when prioritizing, exactly what are you willing to do to reach that goal. Are you willing to pick up extra shifts or pick up a second job to bring in more money to allocate toward paying off the car so you can pay it off by March? Or do you think, that's a really big commitment. I'd rather take the money I'm already getting in from my first job, stop eating out as much, and stop buying from Amazon, and instead allocate that money, that spending money, toward paying off the car. You can see this one decision, this one goal could truly alter your life for that time up until March. Working 2 jobs is very different than working 1 job and just reallocating the money. I think that this is one reason why many New Year's resolutions end up failing, because people believe that they're adding only 1 goal, but 1 goal can really change the course of your daily life. It can take a lot more action, which limits time for other responsibilities, right? Or even money or effort. And it's kind of a ripple effect. There's actually not enough time allocated for the new goal and to keep up with the rest of daily life. Planning needs to be a big part of adding 1 goal. Even if it isn't something that happens on a daily basis, in general, it's going to affect your life in some way. It's less time, it's less attention and effort put to what you were doing before, or it's even a change in behavior, a removal of behavior, and that is breaking a habit. So it is a big change, even though it's just 1 thing being added or removed. So you've got the theme of your goal, your honest and true reasoning, how much you can and want to apply to this goal realistically. The last thing you want to do is write a plan. So your plan is going to include those things with a few added aspects to make it a little bit more realistic, beefing it up, adding detail. So your plan should include your goal, the reason, specific actions, foreseeable challenges, potential solutions, and the date in which you want to revisit your goal and see if any alterations should be made, if it should continue to be a goal or not. The reason why we added specific actions, foreseeable challenges, and potential solutions is obviously because you want to add as much detail and you really want to play out this goal before you even set it into your daily life. So you can see how much time, money, effort it's going to take on a daily basis. So you can see anything that might possibly trip you up, and then have a plan B of potential solutions. So this way, yes, there might be a hurdle, but you can easily go over it, go around it, completely avoid it. So first and foremost, with specific actions, you want to set the 3 specific days that you're going to go run. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, whatever days work best for you, given your work schedule, at-home responsibilities, anything that might come into play, and limit the amount of time that you have to run. Now, you might say, I have most time after work to go for a run, so I'm going to leave work and go right to the gym. Great. So you're probably going to want to pack your running shoes, your gym clothes, a pre-workout snack, a pre-workout shake, anything like that, your afternoon coffee. You're going to want to plan that around your workout. So you're packing things the night before and making sure throughout the day that you eat accordingly, drink accordingly, and prep for your run. Taking it a step further, you might want to think about leaving a pair of running shoes or clothes in your car as an emergency backup in case one night you do forget to pack the night before and you're in a rush in the morning, or you happen to leave the bag at home. There's really nothing to say that you can't go do your run. Lastly, a specific action might be setting an alarm 15 minutes before you're set to run. This way you start to mentally get into that mindset and you know that your next action is to go for the run. Choosing to go for a run afterward, you know that there's going to be foreseeable challenges. Maybe having to stay late at work one night, you're tired after work, forgetting your running shoes or clothes, traffic on your way to the gym, or your friends want to go to a happy hour. But it's awesome because you already set potential solutions for each of these foreseeable challenges. Let's say you're a little bit worried about getting stuck at work when you're supposed to leave immediately and go to the gym. You can always put a 15 to 20 minute buffer time in case you do often get stuck at work, or you can place holds on, let's say, your work calendar, your Google Calendar, whatever it is that they use at your job, for personal time that you are supposed to be going for your run. Everyone's tired after work, but we're always tired no matter what. So having that pre-workout drink, your coffee, your afternoon coffee around the time that you're gonna run, having a snack, your mindset, that's all gonna play a role into physically feeling like you can go do this run. And let's be honest, some days you're really not going to feel like you have it in you, but if you know nutritionally you do have it in you, then you really don't have a reason not to do it. If you've been eating all day, drinking accordingly, you have your coffee, your pre-workout, there's actually no physical reason why you can't do this run. Packing extra clothes, as we mentioned, having it stored in your car, your work locker, whatever it may be, in case you do forget your clothes at home. This might be an instance if you feel that, driving all the way back home and then going to the gym after work is going to set aside too much time and really throw you off course. Obviously, if it is something that where, hey, I forgot my stuff at home, but I could quickly deviate from the plan, go home, get changed, and then go to the gym and still have enough time, that would be awesome as well. Traffic is always going to be a thing. And if you don't have to deal with traffic during, rush hour, congrats to you. But if you are dealing with traffic and it's really going to throw you out of your mindset when you're going to the gym, try to listen to peppy music, maybe make a phone call with someone that's really going to help encourage you. But the main thing is to continue telling yourself throughout that drive that you are going to the gym and you are going to do this run. And then the biggest challenge, I think, friends, right? Your friends want to do happy hour. Well, maybe invite your friends to the gym. It's great to have a training buddy. It might help them with one of their goals. Or you can always say, hey, I can do happy hour on these days. These other days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, are my running days. And just kind of plan accordingly. Yes, it's easy to kind of have that fear of missing out. But if you prioritized your goal, then you actually might have fear of missing out on your goal and not adhering to it, right? So we want to treat it as much of a priority as it truly is. And going along with the last challenge of maybe friends or something coming up that forces you to change the day of your run. I'd say in the beginning, you're trying to form a habit. So if you commit to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, you want to stick with your days until you truly feel like you have formed that habit and you feel comfortable that if you stray from those days that you can continue to feel that you are on track and get back on track as soon as possible. I'd say really do not make any alterations until you feel completely confident in your adherence to your goal. I spoke about the last aspect of your plan, which is setting a date to revisit. Essentially, you want to set a date that's possibly 3 weeks out. I know a lot of people say it takes 30 days to form a habit, or a month is like a solid amount, right? We count by month, so a month might feel pretty good to set a date to revisit. However, 3 weeks out has been 21 days and already 9 times that you should have done a run. So by then, you know whether or not something is working for you. This is a great time to address those challenges early before we continue on the plan and before we get a little bit more discouraged. Of course, over time, you want to consider asking yourself some questions regarding this goal, right? This is great to do during the time that you set to revisit your goal, but if you feel that there's a challenge that has come up much earlier in adhering to your goal and has been a bigger concern, then you can ask these questions a little bit earlier. You might want to ask yourself, and be honest, obviously, is this goal fulfilling the original purpose I had in mind? Are the required actions for this goal feasible to keep in my life? How am I mentally, physically, and emotionally benefiting from this goal? Have any negative side effects, repercussions become apparent since beginning this goal? is there anything that I would like to change regarding my goal? So obviously we're asking ourselves the positives and the negatives because we want to be honest. And just because we set a goal, back in January doesn't mean that now in March or April that this is something that is still benefiting us or it's still good for us. Some goals might have negative repercussions that we didn't necessarily factor in, right? So this is okay to reset and revisit our goals. It's not quitting. It's not, giving up. It's finding out what realistically works for you and what is healthy for you in the goal. So essentially, revisiting is something that you want to continue doing, not just after the first 3 weeks, but as you move deeper and deeper into this goal, it might be a goal that is a year long. So you want to, on a regular basis, revisit it, making sure that it's still something working for you. And if there's something that needs to be changed, start again. Make a small change, form a new plan, and then you want to continue with the same process. This way you can continue adherence at a rate that works realistically for you. I hope that these small tips and tricks for setting goals and adhering to it have been helpful for you. I wish you good luck in setting your New Year's goal for 2021.